Hey everybody, welcome to a new week in what's happening in World of Warcraft with Goldmaking. Actually, a really good week this last week, as you can see by the chart, but you know, you probably don't care about that. You want to know how to make gold or maybe some trick or something in um, to get TSM working the way you want it to work. Anyway, these I try to do these videos every week, and uh, they kind of get monotonous and boring over time, and that's kind of how gold making feels like sometimes. So because what you're going to be doing is you're going to be collecting all this stuff from your um, mailbox and then just posting it. So anyway, I've got some charts or some stuff kind of comparing last week to this week. I've decided to add in a few of the other professions that I'm doing. Like last week, I did enchanting, and I've got some others here. I don't know if I've got them in the same order, but let's just go down the list here. So alchemy uh, isn't uh, isn't too bad, really. It's actually if you can spare the time for it. Um, the the Draenor flasks actually are pretty good sellers, and I was looking, in the greater one and the regular one, it looks like they both give the same stats, but maybe at a lower level they give slightly different stats. So I'm not sure the reason to make uh, the greater one, but if, they still sell. So um, still alchemy, 50,000. That's not anything to uh, you know laugh at or whatever. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but anyway, enchanting. Not too bad this week. Has sold a lot of stuff, but I'm kind of liquidating uh, that um, that profession. So I've got a lot of stuff that I'm just trying to get rid of. Um, okay, so I wanted to talk about so I've added inscription here. So I use a formula for calculating um, the price of luminous pigment and the umbral pigment. So the way I figure it is I'm going to be milling for every 10 death blossom. And I think I've talked about this in another video before, but for every 10 death blossom, you're going to want to mill one nightshade. And so I've set up some custom price strings, or a custom price. Basically, X price death blossom is the same as mat price, and then whatever that value is. So instead of having to look up what the value is each time, I just know that X price Death Blossom is the mat price of Death Blossom, or whatever price I wanted to come up with. So if you look at the numbers, you should, if you mill this amount, you should get 1.8 of uh, luminous ink, luminous pigment, um, or the umbral pigment. And then I divide this by 3. I think I worked out the math and stuff, and it's pretty close. Um, you divide it by 3 since you're getting 3 different pigments out of it, which is the idea, and then divide that by 1.8 because you get 1.8 out of it. Then for nightshade, if you for the tranquil pigment, if you mill uh, nightshade, you're going to get one tranquil pigment for every I think it's like point six or something. I forget, whatever. But if you multiply the price here, then that's what your nightshade, your tranquil pigment should be costing. So or the other option would be to use some sort of similar formula like above, but but that. So it seems like my numbers come out pretty close to what things sell at. So anyway, um, so I sell some inks. So I'll be making inks and pigments and stuff for other things involved in inscription. A lot of the stuff that sells is uh, the Legion glyphs. Those sell pretty good. Let's see, I think the Aerial Chameleon. There's a couple of the Swift Chameleon. I think those might be BFA. I don't really recall offhand, but those are pretty good sellers. Everything BFA, I would probably try to post if it looks profitable. Um, Pandaria, so people that are leveling their characters, they want to buy uh, the inscriptions that go on the shoulders, so they do that. And as far as like luminous pigment, I would probably try to sell as luminous pigment and luminous ink, sell as much as you want. I would probably hold on to the umbral pigment and ink because you can use that at the ink trader, and so you can kind of base your price on some of the other, more pricier, like sallow pigment is uh, ridiculously hard to make if you don't get like Fellward or something at a really low price. But you can basically buy it for the cost of one umbral pigment, or sorry, ink. And that's the other thing. It's kind of a pain to to mill all these herbs and then sit there and craft the inks. So it's kind of one of those things you want to do. Just get it started. Go eat dinner. Go have a snack, or take a shower, brush your teeth, whatever. Do laundry. So anyway, missives, kind of a standard thing. Those always are pretty good sellers. Lately, they've kind of been coming down in price, and they're like really close to my crafting cost. A few tomes. Anyway, engineering. Not much last week. This week is probably similar, but I've had pretty good some sales of items. So a lot of people make the sky golem, and I didn't really want to start making sky golems, so I went with one of the pets that you can make. I think Pierre, and there's like a rascal bot or something like that. So I actually sold one of those. I sold one of my. I think this is. I want to say that's Burning Crusade maybe. And I think one of these is Burning Crusade. The other is like Northrend. So somebody bought the one of the guns, both these guns. So the great thing about the guns is that they can be equipped by anyone. You don't have to be an engineer to equip them. So those are usually if you're going to craft engineering items, I would probably focus on like the guns and stuff, because a lot of the other stuff you have to be an engineer uh, to use it or equip it or anything like that. Let's see. Engineering. I think I've got cooking next. So I went ahead and included some of the crafted transmog that I post on my one quick character. I do all the blacksmithing, tailoring, leather working all on one character, and then that kind of helps that. Actually, that's the character I'm on right now. So I just gotta post all these. So like I said. Anyway, I'm kind of getting distracted. You can post. It gets kind of boring posting all this stuff, and a lot of times you want to be playing the game. So um, anyway, before I get too distracted, lots of stuff sells all the time. One of the Pandaria things was a pretty high seller. Sold one of those. Those come every once in a while. Um, Festival dress, if you can make those. A lot of times, what happens, like with the recent, I guess it was the Lunar Festival or something, somebody posted like 15 of them, and then after a while they just stopped posting them. I don't know what they did with them. They I don't know if you can disenchant them or not, but yeah, they probably just put them in their bank to post another time. So dress shoes actually sell quite frequently, along with the like the tuxedo. Even though it's a white item, a lot of people like to dress up their bank alts. So inflatable mount shoes, pink party hat. This was really popular, I think, at the start. A lot of people crafted them, but with a lot of things, people will craft stuff, a whole bunch of them, when they first get the pattern, especially if it's brand new, and they'll post a whole bunch of them, maybe 5,000 gold each on the auction house, and then, once it drops down to really low price, I don't know, they just get bored, and it's just not enough gold to bother with. Silvered, bronze stuff, yeah, that's pretty good sellers. Um, and then shirts, if you can, a lot of shirts, it depends on your realm, though. A lot of shirts will be good sellers. They're usually pretty easy to make, pretty cheap. Cheap to make, um, and they're not horribly expensive. So a lot of people will be like, "Yeah, I want to get a shirt." So um, anyway, on to cooking. Cooking's cooking. Uh, Trying to get feasts sold. I'm trying to get my prices down on the ingredients for it. So what'll end up happening is I'll buy some really cheap stuff, make it, and then the formulas I'm using kind of change because I don't have as much of the item, and I'm not using I'll switch over to using closer to DB Market, and instead of what I actually paid for it. So things kind of fluctuate, but you can kind of see all kinds of stuff sells still. Even the BFA stuff, people probably still leveling. They like to. People are completionists. They like to level up their cooking in every expansion. I included item level 200 here, but on the left. But I think those were included. I don't know if I think they should have been in here. I guess not. Maybe I kind of spread those apart to different characters. So anyway, I wanted to save the uh, legendaries closer to the end because those not everyone's doing legendaries, and if you're not doing legendaries, then it's just kind of it just I don't want anyone to feel bad that they're not doing legendaries, and sometimes I so want to get out of these. So, but it is like probably the biggest money maker out there. So what's good to know about the rank, if you want to look at the rank ones, the advantage of still selling those is you can kind of see what is selling. Umberhide leggings are probably pretty popular. Those are a non-domination socket slot. So the ones that don't have a domination slot tend to be the better sellers. And let's see. Bone. I still have some bone shatter stuff that I'm selling here and there. It's not hugely popular. Shadow guy, yeah, necklace, waist guard are good ones. Oh shoot, this was going so well. Okay, rank 3, pants, mittens, ring, and there's the leggings again. And occasionally you'll get like a vest or a helm and stuff like that. So let's see. Again, so rank 4. Rank 4s are doing actually pretty well. Uh, not as many people are bothering with them because if you're going to make a rank, a lot of people see the big price tag on the rank sixes, so it feels a lot better when you make a sale of like 100,000 instead of 25, 30, 40,000. But the thing is the margin on those sales is a lot slimmer on the higher sales. So let me so 4 million last week. Let's look at the rank sixes this week. I sold quite a bit more this week than last week. So 6 million in sales on 51 compared to 29. So that's a big, close to double. So anyway, you can kind of see what's selling. I think I had a demon hunter in trade that wanted, I made him some umberhide arm guards, and I think he gave me everything he needed for it, in like a 10 or 15,000 gold tip. So it was not bad. I don't have a problem, doing, 5,000 gold tip is fine for me. It's, I don't know. It's just, I think it's more the meaning behind it than, than how much it costs. So, not everybody is loaded with gold, and, you gotta realize that too. So, let's see. What else? I think that's about it for the week in sales and stuff. There was one thing I wanted to talk about, and I might make a separate video for it. So there's actually, let me. I know it. I saw it with nylon thread the other day. So what's weird is you've got these people that are posting it like just really high prices, and so what happens is the DB market, nobody posts against them, so all of a sudden the DB market is bumped up in value. So if you're using DB market as like one of your primary numbers to go off of, and this mainly works with the reason this works is it's usually one of these things that's very thinly traded. It's not on the mark. It's not always on the auction house. You maybe only have one person posting, and they just post at ridiculous values. And I think I'm pretty sure I've talked about this before. But one thing to kind of protect your prices or your price operations is so I've just defined my DB market, which is the minimum of DB market plus or 1.7 times DB region market average. And then I even average this value into my basic averages, which is, was my basic average. So I kind of average that in. So it's even going to reduce that price of so you're not like following these really high prices. So you can see on mine here, my normal price is 3 gold, my high is 6 gold. So that kind of, you kind of keep a control on it. And what I've kind of been noticing is that I've seen some items where the region market value average is this really high inflated value as well, and it's even on like just you'll see it on these white items, and even like stuff like this, like vendor items. It'll and that's one thing that one of the great things about TSM, besides the posting of auctions and stuff, is the pricing data. And what we as TSM users, we really want to keep these prices as close to accurate as we possibly can. So we don't want these people that are posting these things at just ridiculous amounts to affect the pricing data. So that's one thing to keep in mind. But anyway, I think that was all I had to talk about this week. If you have any questions or comments or something you'd like me to cover, Uh, ask in the comments. I check them about once a week, or every once in a while I'll check them to just make sure if there's any questions there. So I hope y'all have a great weekend, and y'all take care.